Hi, I'm Mark Stone of Stones Patisserie. I've been a pastry chef for, ever since I finished school. Always wanted to be a chef, never thought of doing anything else. And I decided to specialise in pastry in London. And I went to work at the Savoy Hotel. And after working at the Savoy Hotel for a couple of years, I decided to go and work for Marco Pierre White in London. So I've worked right at the top. And then decided I wanted to have a life. So I moved to Australia and worked the traps in Sydney, and then come down to this beautiful part of south of Sydney. It's a lovely drive down here. It's only about an hour and a half out of Sydney. So we've still got still keeping in touch with what's going on in the big city. But we've got the beautiful sandstone buildings and the rolling country hills. So it's a beautiful place to bring up my kids. So I've got two lovely girls and a little boy. So it's a great place to live and work. So we have a good work-life balance, which is very important in cooking, because you can get drawn into just cooking all the time and you forget about your family. So we're only open for breakfast and lunch, and as soon as we pack up and the kids come home from school and they have a bit of afternoon tea, and then we all go home together and have dinner together at home, which is fantastic. We have a breakfast and lunch menu. A breakfast menu is all day, and we do the traditional poached eggs and a bacon egg roll, but we also do a lot of gluten-free items, so without flour, and we have a lovely pancake dish on the menu for breakfast, which is really popular, but we also on our lunch menu have lots of gluten-free options as well. And what's becoming more and more popular is gluten-free desserts. So flourless desserts, and we tend to blow people away with some of the nice desserts that we do here, and the range is just getting bigger and bigger. Well, mine is definitely the Tangana, so the chocolate salted caramel, which is in the cabinet here, which is available every day. And it's a hazelnut milk chocolate and crunchy base, and then a Tanzanine cream, which is a milk chocolate custard, and then a salted caramel, a flourless chocolate sponge soaked in a cocoa punch, and chocolate mousse covered in a chocolate glaze. It's absolutely delicious. When I was at school, and I was doing cookery classes with all the other girls, and I decided that I wanted to be a chef and I wanted to be in the kitchen all the time. And I fell in love with the passion, the adrenaline, the heat, and then after working at the top end in London and reaching my goals there of working at some of the best restaurants and hotels, I decided to specialise in patisserie because I really like to concentrate on the finer part of the meal, and that's the dessert. Because you always remember the first and last items of a meal. What you get, whether it be bread or whether you finish on dessert and petit fours, that's the things that you remember about a meal. And that's what I make, the best desserts in town. Here in Australia we have such a fantastic selection of fresh produce. And in the countryside here, it's on our doorstep. So why not use it? Why not use some of the best ingredients? I must admit I do use a few ingredients that I can only get from France, because they're obviously the godfathers of cooking and patisserie. Well, all the fruit that we use and the vegetables are all locally grown. The meat I buy from a local butcher as well. He's also got a young family, so we like to support each other. So he sends his missus around and gets cake from me, and I buy all my meat from him. But yeah, no, it's mainly the fruit and vegetables that we use that are locally, and just the fact that we make everything here ourselves. So it's a handmade product that I supply, and you can see the action as it happens. So it's all fresh. Oh, absolutely, and the changes have come about because of people's passion for cooking through a lot of the shows on TV, like MasterChef and My Kitchen Rules. Have actually helped a lot of good businesses in educating people in what goes in the dishes, because we put so much effort in, and yeah, we charge a premium, but that's because you've got a premium product and it's so exquisite, and so to get people to understand that is difficult sometimes. But when they watch all these shows and they go, oh wow, I didn't know it took that long to make that, I understand, it's okay. I don't mind paying you lots of money for your fantastic cakes and pastries. It's a social event, and this is why a lot of people come here, is they come here to see Megan and I and my team making everything. And I always get grief from the guys because I spend too much time chatting. So talking to all the customers, making sure they're okay, but also listening to them, which is also important. Yeah, no, we have a regular fan base that keep coming back, and they love the combination of everything. The fact that we've got great coffee, we've got great bread, with delicious pies and sausage rolls. So some people, oh no, I don't have a sweet tooth, but you know, they'll have 2 pies and a sausage roll. But we do have quite a few people coming in liking cake. It's probably the environment that you're in, the fact that it's a traditional bakery or patisserie that's in a country feel. So you come in and you're feeling warm and welcoming, and you've got fires burning, you've got space to breathe, you know, it's fresh air outside, and it's just it's the ambience and the fact that you come in and you see that everything is handmade here, and that in a city cafe, it's small, it's cramped, you've got air conditioning going, and it's busy, and you haven't got time, and you're like, where's the kitchen? Where do they make everything? Well, I suppose the chefs that I've worked for in the past have been my main inspiration, but just the passion to succeed. You have to be enthusiastic about what you do in hospitality, and especially being a chef, because if you don't have that enthusiasm and that drive, then you might as well give up. When I first come to Australia, it was great because I felt like I was on holiday all the time. But then you settle into a routine and you're like, okay, well, this is what it is. But then I went back to Paris, and I went back to Paris to bring the franchise of Lenot from Paris to Australia, and I was reinvigorated in the industry. It gave me that get up and go. This is what it can be. This is how good you can be. This is how good your product can be. So it made me more passionate about what I do, because that's what the French do. They talk about food all the time. They talk about it for breakfast, lunch and dinner. I suppose the enjoyment of people when they come in, that's what makes my day, is when people walk in that door and they go, wow. I was like, yeah, I've done my job. I've given them the wow factor. Marring my day would be the opposite, is when people go away and they're disappointed or they're sad, but I want to know why, so I can fix it, straight away.